folks, this is another repeat in terms of brand, but it's a completely different model that we've seen. Now, when I was doing these videos in the States, I often did Leo James, IYV, Firefly, Grote, a number of them. And since moving to the UK, I've had to sort of find a whole slew of budget guitars that are, common, or, you can find on the UK market relatively easy. Those other guitars, you can find them, but they often are shipped from the US and include pretty hefty shipping from the US on eBay, which completely takes away all the value of a budget guitar if you've got to overpay for it. And one of the brands that I've sort of found that competes with some of those brands is Fazley. Now, this is what they're calling the Outlaw Coyote guitar. Obviously, it's a T-shaped guitar. We're not allowed to say Telecaster, are we? But that obviously is the homage that we're going for here. And it has the typical setup with the lipstick pickup in the neck and a single coil in the bridge. It has brass saddles on this, which is, I don't know if you can see that, really interesting. And this sort of dark ash, burled ash type finish, which is very handsome. What this guitar reminds me of the most, out of all the guitars I've reviewed in the past, is the slick guitar that I had on this channel a few months ago, probably a couple of years ago now, that had this sort of finish. I think I might have had a Cozart that had this sort of finish as well. Sometimes I think you can find this sort of finish also with the monoprice guitars, if I remember rightly. Not this dark though. I think it was a much brighter sort of ash finish to those guitars. So it's done elsewhere, but this is a rather handsome finish and design, especially the string through here. It's got some nice figure, as you can see on here. The bridge plate on the back, what seems to be roasted maple fretboard, which is actually surprisingly nice. This is a, I don't know, £150 guitar, full price. You can find it cheaper than that in certain circles. And the neck work on this is actually surprisingly good for this kind of vintage of guitar. I had another Fazley about a year ago now that was a Tele style guitar. I don't remember it. I no longer have it, but I don't remember the neck being as nice as this. And I don't remember it having brass saddles either. So I don't know if it's just certain models that they do that with, or if they've upgraded their parts. And this is a newer production. I'm not sure. It's even got sort of a roasted looking headstock there. But, as with all these guitars, they are basically mod platforms for serious players. So for instance, any of you shredders that have been playing guitars for umpteen years gets a guitar like this, you're probably not going to want to stay with the stock pickups, even though I don't think they're that bad. And there's a bit of spank to them as well. I think that probably people are going to buy these and put their preferred brands of pickups on them, probably switch out the tuners, maybe even some of the other hardware as well. But I think this is the best Fazley I've had yet. Actually, the jack plate, I think, is an upgrade as well. It looks like a nicer quality jack plate. It feels better going with the jack going in as well. It has black fret markers on a very dark sort of roasted maple fretboard there, maple neck, as you can see. And I like the fact, and those of you who watch my channel know, that I love black pick guards on Teles and Strats. I just do. I don't know why. I just think they look better. So I'm glad they went with a black pick guard. It's black on white. Looks like 3-ply. I like the black pickup on this. sorry, the pickguard on this, much better than it would have looked if it had a white one. I've had guitars with this sort of finish that come with white pickguards, and they never quite look right to me. It just blends better with this kind of finish, in my opinion. I may be biased because I just tend to like black pickguards on guitars, electric guitars, particularly S and T-type guitars. Everything else on here I think is good to go for a beginner or an intermediate. The pickups sound pretty decent. They're not noisy. I've got the guitar turned up right now. It's not feeding back. I don't hear any extraneous noise. The knobs on it feel, substantially decent. It doesn't have the ashtray bridge, but it feels like a decent piece of metal there. So yeah, the only thing probably that you might want to switch out after the pickups, of course, are these tuners, which are the tuners that you find on so many guitars. When you see them, you know that they're not terrible. They stay in tune, but you know that you can probably upgrade that part of the guitar pretty easy. Maybe put some locking tuners on it as well. A lot of people upgrade the string trees as well. You can get much better molds than these. These seem to work fine. They put the correct break angle on the string over the nut. They're not the highest quality. They could be better. It has actually really nice frets on this. The fret ends feel really, really good. This is by far the best guitar that I've received from Fazley, and I might keep this and mess with it for a while, because it just seems to be substantially better than anything I've seen from them so far. The downer on this guitar, and this will be a deal breaker for some of you, but not all of you, it is hefty. It's a hefty piece of wood. I'd say this is easily probably 8-9 pounds, this guitar, so it's pretty hefty. And that's the case with these kinds of with these ash guitars. You often have a hefty, chunky guitar with some weight to them. It is not one piece. You can probably see there, if the light's good enough, you can probably see a join there on the side. It may even have a veneer top and back as well, because actually I don't see a join on this side, just on the top side of the guitar. It's the only join I see anywhere on the guitar. It feels and it looks, when you look at the figure, like it's solid wood. Maybe it's joined, but it's not. It doesn't look veneered. I don't see a veneer on this guitar, so I don't think it is. It's possible. And then of course you've got the string ferrules and the feed through, which a lot of people like because it supposedly gives you better sustain. And with these brass saddles, that's probably a nice combination that gives you slightly better tone. So this is the Fazley Outlaw series Coyote. Never know how to say that word. Some people say Coyote or Coyote. I'm not sure what the relationship to the animal to this particular look is. Maybe it's a nocturnal type of theme. I don't know. But yeah, this is a step up, I think, from the other couple of examples that I've had and shown on this channel, which were good. I think they were good value guitars. But this is substantially better parts and materials. And I'm seeing things on this particular guitar, quality-wise, that wasn't quite there on the other guitars that I got from them. Again, I purchased this. This is not a freebie. I have no connection with the company. I've just found them to be a budget company here in the UK that has an interesting offering of guitars and very moddable guitars and decent quality for beginners and intermediate players as well, in keeping with the theme of this particular channel. So I thought I'd show it. And also this guitar comes with a reasonable gig bag as well. So you get, with all the guitars so far, you get a gig bag and some accessories with the guitar, which is always nice. But yeah, it's a nice guitar. There's it's got some tone to it and some possibilities between the pickup configurations. So pleased to show it on this particular channel. Let me know, anybody else who's run across these, what you think of them, what you've done to them. I'm always interested to hear what like-minded people are doing with budget guitars. So let me know. Those of you who are based in the UK, I think these, I think this is the Bax Music house brand. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you can buy them on Amazon, eBay, but most of the models are available on Bax Music, which seems to be sort of like a poor man's Thomann, UK based. They sell, you know, recognized brands as well, but I think this is perhaps their house brand, their Holly Benton, if you like. So it's possible I'll run into more. I haven't actually looked at one of their acoustics yet, and that's a possibility that might be coming up. But this telly became available. I like the look of it, and yeah, quite pleased with it for this particular price range. This is a pretty decent guitar that's got lots of possibilities. So there you go. Fazley Outlaw Coyote T-style guitar. All right, folks. See you on the next one.